Hello, my crafty friends. This is Anne-Marie Julian Wetzel. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am going to be sharing this video on creating all three of these items. This was part of a cookie and card class that I'm hosting, and I am providing tutorial so they know how to put these cards together, because we'll be busy decorating the cookies and won't have an opportunity to put these together when we're together. So this is adorable gingerbread, and I'll walk you through how I did this. Love this gift tag here, and so appropriate, right, for our baking cookie decorating class. And this simple but elegant snowflake. So let's get started. I'm going to set these aside, and we're going to start with this gingerbread man first. The products that I used to create this is our Traditions of Christmas paper. So I'm not going to bring all of the paper in, but that is where this came from. And then our gingerbread stamp and die cut set. So really the only thing I'm stamping here is the season's eatings. And if you do not have a chance to stamp this, pre-stamp this at the event, then use any other sentiment that you would feel that is appropriate. But hopefully we'll get you stamped at the event. One of the rules and guidelines with Stampin' Up! Is that we are not allowed to pre-stamp everything for you. So again, hopefully you've gotten that. And if not, let me know. We'll work something out since you will be local. Then I used these nested essential dies. I love nesting dies, and just used this little tag here for our title. And then all of these other items are from the die cut set. And I just love the fact that they have all of these items. The little peppermint candy, a lollipop, the different faces. So I'm not quite sure. We'll have two different faces here, the one with the winking and then one with a smile. But also little other embellishments like a coffee cup. There's the bow, the hat, the gumdrops, so much more, the scarf, so much included in these dies. So again, let's get started. All of your pieces are going to be enclosed in your envelope. We're going to take all of these out. Oh, the other item I did use, and this is for the inside, are the postage stamps nested dies. So the card base is made with crumb cake. And again, love this paper, but we're using the plaid side for this. And lining that up onto the side here. During this tutorial, feel free to stop and pause as you need. This again is going to go inside. I stamped it with Baking Spirits Bright. I'll have to grab that stamp set out. And we'll just center that in the center there. And oh, you know what? That is from a different stamp set. That is from no, it's not. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Baking Spirits Bright. It should be here. It should be on here. Yep, here it is. I am just not seeing it. Okay, sorry about that. Baking Spirits Bright. And I used the real red. Make sure that is on my block. Just gently type. Our stamp pads are so juicy. And go straight down. Hold it for a few seconds just so it absorbs. And then I'm just going to stamp my excess off, and then I'll clean it with my chamois afterwards. But since we have our ink pad out, let's get these other pieces out. So many different little pieces. And here is Seasons Eatings. We're going to put that on this tag. I can see I did not have enough ink on there, so just going back and reapplying. Perfect. All right, set that up there. And let's close this. We will not need any more ink. And again, I'm just going to use my silicone mat to help. So we do have a winking one. Oh, one of the things that I did do here is, but this is not necessary, but feel free if you want to. This is pecan pie cardstock. I am just going to highlight around the edges. But you can't see, it is a really subtle. Again, I'm just going to try to highlight the edges. When I do my blending, I start off onto the paper and then onto the die cut. That prevents any harsh markings when blending. Again, and on the camera, I'll bring it up close, but on the camera, you are probably not going to see it. But we do have a full gingerbread right there. So just bring that up a little bit. And set that aside. So then there's this little piece here. And again, because I couldn't stamp, and a lot of times the gingerbread man is actually used with white embossing, and I'll show you. I have a sample here. So this was white embossed on there, and then the eyes and his buttons all done with the white, with a clear Versamark and white embossing powder, right? Super cute. But again, we can't pre-stamp, so I just cut the dies out and then just going to put this behind his face, and then we have his white eyes. Perfect, right? Now for his hat, you have two pieces of hat, so you can choose whichever way you want. I'm going to keep it the same here, and I am just going to trim off the white right on that scored line. That is now trash, and this will go here. And that just will line up right over where all right, and then I have to move the slit a little bit. Let's make sure we have him covered up. All right, and then we will tilt his hat just a little bit. You can also add 3D foam tape if you want, the dimensionals. Okay, so also some of the differences here is this die cut actually creates a folded card. It automatically, so this is scored. So some of you will have your score on the left and some of them will have it on the right. So that's your preference on where you want to put your little peppermint. So I am going to just add that. And I found lining this up like that around, having these around that wrapper edge is perfect. So we'll put that aside here. We do have his little scarf we'll add on. And then you have 2 of these squigglies. Super fun. So I just cut these in half. And just gonna put them on the edge of his hands, and then the other one I'll cut and do it on his legs. All right, let's get this leg done. Super, super, super cute. They actually even have a die in here that, oh, I think it's on the other side, but it's kind of like where it broke off. Oh, snap, or somebody bit it off, right? Super cute. So many different ideas they came up with when creating these dies. Okay, so we have his arms and his legs there, and then you will have 2 little peppermint embellishments. These are pre-adhesive. So I will just put them down the middle here. And then inside, you will also have this white enamel, and that will go on his hat. And this also has pre-adhesive on there. And we will pop that up. So let's get him on our card. And I put him tilted. And again, I did not pop him up with the dimensions, but you can if you'd like. And what I did pop up is the sentiment Seasons Eatings. So I'll just add 2 dimensions here. And I'm gonna put that down here. And I'm going to place one on the back of our little peppermint candy. And again, like I said, yours may have the not so rounded edge on this side. And if you do, you might want to tilt your card the other way and put your peppermint on that side. But there we have it. Super cute card. Baking Spirit Sprite. All right, let's get on to the next one. Let me put these away in here. Have them ready for my class. Okay. So the next one we will do is the little gift tag. And the products that I used for the gift tag is this red ribbon. It has like a shimmer, goldish shimmer to it. It's really, really pretty. And we put that on that tag. The background of this die is called Branching Out Dies. If many of you know me, I am a fan of all kinds of nesteds, and so I have to have every shape, right? But this was perfect to do that with. So I used these 2 the second to largest and the third to the largest on that. I cut 2 of the white ones, and I love the fact that they're stitched. Can you see how there's that stitching in there? All right, and then, how fun is this? We have this Christmas word collage, and this is an embossing folder and a die cut. So we're not using the die cut, but I did emboss the back of this to have the wording here. So here you can see that. I know there's a little bit of a glare. Let's see if I can do it that way. I think that might be showing you better on that, hopefully. And then it does have the dies. And I'll just open these quickly for you because these dies fit right inside. And it's a one-step process. You insert the dies. All one. Okay. So now to just try to find that right goes this way. Sorry, the cut edge goes up front, and that slips right in there, right? So then you would put your cardstock here, close this, and run it through, and you would have pre-embossed letters. It looks great when you're using a foil paper as well, but you would put your cardstock in here and run that through, and you would have all these different sentiments. Love, love that. So again, I'm just going to set this aside. And then my favorite is the homemade treats. I love this stamp set and dies, and it comes with all of the pieces of baking. So how appropriate, like I mentioned earlier, super appropriate for our card class and our cookie and card class today. So let's get started with putting this together. And have all of the pieces in here. This was used, we have our Country Woods paper that is in our annual catalog, and I just ran the rolling pin through that, and look how realistic that looks, like a true rolling pin. Perfect coloring, so I did not have to do any stamping on that. So again, this is the real red cardstock I ran through with the branching out dies. Oh, yep, I can do that. And then I'm going to put my white cardstock there. I did not use the two-tone. And then I have the one that I pre-embossed. You can see the pre-embossed letters in that. I ran that through the machine. Actually, I want to do it this way. Okay, again, this will be super easy to put through. We have this trio little punches, and here is one of them for the tags. You will not have this when you're assembling, but take any kind of hole punch and run that through. And I'm just going to, it is kind of tight, and I'm just going to try to center that there. Whoa. Oh, not centered at all. But again, this is my sample. All right, so I am going to take the cookie sheet, and I am placing that at an angle. And then I have the little oven mitt that I just cut out from Designer Series paper. Popping that up with the dimensions. And I'm going to place that over here. And my two little gingerbread men. So these are pre-baked because that's why they don't have any faces on them. This is just the dough. going in. And then again, our little rolling pin. Adding dimensions on here. These are the mini dimensions. And just adding that. And then for the ribbon, I am just going to bring that up through, make that loop, and then pull these tags through. And there we have our little tag. Super cute. Now you can stamp whatever you want on the back. Some people want to put a message on here. This is perfect for your gift bags. If you do make homemade treats and giving them out to your family and neighbors, co-workers, another cute little easy tag to put together. So love it. And so now we have one more to do. And that is our Simply Elegant Snowflake here. So I used quite a few different products to get this created. So the Snowflake Kisses stamp set is where the sentiment came from, sending you warm hugs. So we'll have to pre-stamp that at our event. It's a photopolymer. And then we have several different dies that have snowflakes. So I used the one die on here from the Snowflake Kisses here. You'll see that's going to go into the center of our snowflake. And then Snowy Delights was the main die that I die cut for you. So I took this die here, but it has so many other dies. But I took this one here, the center one, and ran that through, and then we popped up those dimensions. And then here is just the stamp set that coordinates with the Snowy Delights. I also pre-cut from the Snowflake Kisses. Again, I love that. So I pre-cut all of that for the inside of that card. So let's get started with that. And grab our pieces out. This is our final card. All right, so you'll have all of these pieces in here. You'll have some clear gems. Here is the actual initial top layer of this, and that's what we're going to stamp. So we'll stamp that right now. You don't want to stamp it after you've put it on and put the dimensions on. So you want to pre-stamp that. Again, if we don't put any kind of sentiment on your card, I'm just going to put that center bottom. There we go. Put that up there. All right, so then we have these other pieces here. Here is the card base that you have. This will be placed in, and this is, I'm trying to think of what the name of this paper is. I think it is the Snowy Delights paper. It's part of the suite. And I'm just gonna line this up center here. This, again, is going to get popped up, and you should not see that on the back. So and there we have that. So let's get this put up with the dimensions. I am actually going to use our long strips. Just makes it easier when you're doing a long area and provides additional support. Again, this will all be pre-dyed for you, die cut out for you. And I'm going to actually add just some additional pop dots to give this additional support. So you'll want to do that. Let's take this backing. Oh, that is taken off already. This is very, very sticky. Okay, so here is the trick, trying to line this up while I am videoing and standing over this. There we have it. So you can see that additional dimension there. And then we have this piece here, which fits perfectly in that center to just fill that space. And I am going to use one of the mini dimensions and put that right in the center there. That gets added right there. And we will add one of these little pre-adhesive gems. It has the adhesives on there. And that's the front of our card. So now let's do the inside. So I see here some of these pieces I did not take out. So just make sure that you have all of these coming out. And that's that. And that again will go in the inside. And let me get my mat here. Again, so this allows me to run this right over and the adhesive does not stick here at all. That's gonna, again, be centered in here. And I am just going to put these little gems in the center of our snowflakes. There we go, and the last one. And where we have that. So sweet. Let's get our card, all three projects out here. We have this 1, 2, and 3. I hope you enjoy creating these. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you find that you're missing a piece. I'm human. Hopefully I did not miss anything, but you should also have envelopes for your 2 cards included in your kit. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for joining me, and hope this inspires you to create more. Thanks so much. Have a great day.